Hey Facebook, I'm gonna tell you guys some stuff. And I want you to just take what I say and really tell yourself that you can be all. We grow up in a world of who we are inside. But do we really know who we are? Do we really think that we can go through life changing our actions? But you can. You can be that person that you want to be in the future if you give your all. If you tell yourself that I can do this no matter what. I can be myself now. What happens now will happen then. Because you are that person that you wanted to be. No matter what, we go through life being that person. We go through life loving and caring and giving ourselves a thought of who we are inside. We give ourselves love. Because no matter what you do in life, you will be that person in the future. What happens now will happen in the future. But what happened in the past doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now because you are starting fresh from what happened. You are giving yourself more freedom to choose what you do. To give yourself less stress and more happiness. But if you go through life not knowing who you are and giving yourself more stress, then you're not going to be that person. But if you tell yourself from the heart that you know who you are and you actually work towards being that person, then you will have a good future. But no matter what, you are that person. You can be that person today only if you choose. Your mind, your body, and soul have to push yourself and you give yourself that thinking of you can be that person. Because in life, there's challenges and there's things that we have to know how to face. We have to know what is right from wrong and what we can do to change ourselves. But in order to start now, you have to push yourself forward. Push yourself and give yourself that thought of right from wrong. But in the example of who you are comes what do you need to do to better yourself? To give yourself more freedom to choose who you are. To give yourself the fact of you can be that person no matter what. But did you really think about that? Did you put that mentality and thought into your mind and told yourself that you are that person? But can you really be that person if you don't think about it? If you don't give yourself this? No matter what, we have our challenges. We have things in place for us to give us the matter of fact. But you have to start fresh. You have to give yourself the now, but not only that, the then. Be yourself now. Start fresh from what happened in your past and become that now. So then in the future, your future will be changed. Because our lives are ever spiraling in a circle. We go from being born to the middle of our lives until the end of our lives. Because you went from one place and now you're at this place. But you're actually at this place. But if you don't think about doing the right thing from the wrong thing, you'll go back to that place. Do you really want to have the thought and mentality of going back to who you used to be? Or do you want to start fresh now and actually become that person in the future? We all have our thoughts. and consequences. We all do things to get consequences, and in return, we get in trouble. But can you think about who you are and tell yourself that today you can stand up and give yourself the fact of that you can be that person? If you put your mind to being a person that loves and doesn't hate people, then you can be good. Faith will bring you higher. Faith will give you what you need so that way you can be that person. But if you can't change now, if you can't give yourself a thought of changing now and starting over fresh, how are you going to be that person in the future? How are you going to forget about the past and push forward to the future? But you have to think about that. You have to take 1 second and really give yourself the thought of who you are. Because we all have challenges. We all have emotions. We all go through life not knowing what to do. But that's why our parents and our teachers are there to push us through life and motivate us to give us what we need. What we need to do to move on and be ourselves. But that starts with you. That starts with you not only starting fresh now, but being a person in the future. You can be that person. You are that person. And no matter what we say or no matter what we do, our actions have consequences. Our actions speak louder than words. But if you go back to the past, you're not that person. But if you start fresh now, you'll be that person. And if you think about what people do out there every day, risking their lives to save us, then you'll know that you too can save somebody else's life. You too will have the matter of the fact that who am I? Who am I to give you the matter of the fact? And who are you to give me satisfaction? Who are you to do wrong? Be the person you want to be and be the person you sought out to be in the future. We all have consequences. We all have advantages and disadvantages. But no matter what, who you are today matters about who you are in the future. Just because you did one thing for somebody doesn't mean you can't do another for somebody else. Because in life, we contemplate who we are, but we don't think about who we are. We don't think not to make the bad mistakes because we want to do bad. But really, think about who you are and change the fact from bad to good. Go down the path of being good versus being bad. Because you give people one thing, and in return, they give you another thing. But instead of not knowing what you need to do in life, instead of not being that person, be yourself. Be who you sought out to be no matter what. Because today we can stand up for us. We can stand up to fight against who we are. We can stand up to not only trust ourselves, but give ourselves the matter of the fact. That whoever we are and whatever our past was, whatever we did in the past doesn't matter now, to this point. But if you think about that mind and that mentality about what happened in your past, you're not going to be that person or be that person you want to be. Because no matter what happens now, it will happen in your future. But you have to start fresh and start fresh now so that way back when you're a kid or when you had that past that doesn't matter now, you won't worry about it anymore. You won't think about it any less. But you will give your all to the future. The here and now is what matters in the future. No matter what we do and no matter what we say out of our mouths, what we say or do now will matter in the future. What we say or do then doesn't matter now or doesn't matter in the future. But now is now. Now is a time to change and to start fresh and to be who we are, because no matter what you are, no matter who you are, no matter what you say, you are that person. But the thing is, it starts with you. You have to give your thought and give your mind the power to change. To think about who you are and what you sought out to be. Because no matter what we are, no matter what we do, we still think about our past. But can you really think about that when you have now? Or can you think about what happens now will happen in the future? Give yourself the thought of who you want to be. Not who you were or not who you are. Who you want to be in the future. You can be that person no matter what anybody says, no matter who you are, be that person today. Be a person of thought, of thankfulness, of loving, of caring, and being the here and now. You can be that person that you wanted to be no matter who you were. But you have to start now for the future. You can be your best. But if you don't start now, then will you ever be that person? Will you ever think about your actions and your emotions and how you're giving off your love and care to people and giving what you want to others or what others want from you? Give yourself the thought of that you can do this. You can be your best in this world. You can give your all no matter what. But in the end, we all have now, now, and now. No matter what, in the future will matter now. Now will matter in the future. But if you give yourself nothing, you're giving yourself nothing in return. Work towards the steps. Take baby steps so that way you can benefit from the future. Be yourself and give your all, because we all shall succeed. But that's only if we think from our hearts and from our body. Be yourself. Be who you are. Don't let anybody tell you who you are, because they don't matter. The only thing that matters is you and how you take yourself in life. No matter what you say or no matter what you do will matter in the future. The here and now will matter in the future. Because no matter what we say, are we really who we say we are? Can we give ourselves more thought of more thinking of who we are? But in the end, will we ever be that person? Will we ever love ourselves? Will we ever give ourselves the thought of who we are? Because in the end, we all are human. We all will die. But that's not now. You have to work towards that. You have to work towards the future. Not only work, but actually dig yourself into it. Be yourself no matter who you are. This is my live video for my podcast because I can't do live videos on Anchor. But I just wanted to let everybody know that I will help you. I will give you motivation to do the right thing. Listen to my podcast on Spotify, Google Play, or Google Podcasts. But be yourself. You can take what I give you today and actually think about it. Wrap your mind around it and listen to what I say. Because no matter what, we can do our best. Because no matter what, we are that people. We are people who will stand up for what we believe. But if we don't work towards it, will we ever get there? Will we ever think about what we need to do? Thank you for joining me. I want you to take from today that no matter what we do now, it will affect our future. No matter what we say or do, it will affect our future. Just be your best and think of your mind, your heart, and your soul. Please listen to my podcast. Then you too will know who you are inside. Not only on the outside, but on the inside. Have a great day, folks.